Another beautiful Masterminds video with your co-host Brian from Masterminds with Us with Brian and Pam. And I'm super excited for this training. This training is going to be really one of my favorites, one of the biggest secrets to where I made impossible, magical things happen with my life. I would tell you that this is the one secret that changes the way that my life has been organized up until now. So I'm revealing the secret. I don't really talk about it because I don't really think about it. And one thing I want to let you guys know is that everybody's good at something. That thing that they're good at, we tend to take it for granted because it comes so easy to us. And what we look outside of ourselves and we admire things that other people do, we feel that feeling about it because we crave difficulty. You know, we don't appreciate things that are just right in front of us. You know, we take for granted that we're good at certain things that other people would admire you for because they want to learn from you what that thing is, but you think it's really nothing because it's just a gift. We tend to overlook our gifts. It's kind of like once you have furniture in your house, you could get really excited when you buy like a new kitchen table or a new dining room table. And then within 6 months, it kind of just bleeds into the background because that's how our brains are designed. Our brains, they reduce the amount of information it takes in because we need to filter our reality. We need to focus on certain things based on our purpose. So things tend to fall into the background, and that includes our talents and the things that make us unique and special to other people. But to us, it's like it's a common thing. So I want to start off with that. And this does lead to the conversation I want to speak about. So this video is all about my secret. I think this is the secret. It's empty space. Empty space. Give way to silence. Give way to the empty canvas. Give way to the empty pieces of paper. And I learned this from Keith Richards. When I read his autobiography, it's like this thick. You could legitimately, you know, if you ever needed self-defense, you could kill somebody with that book. Not that I would ever recommend you should do that, but like, you know, Jason Bourne, like there's this scene where he jumps through the window. There's like 3 bodyguards. He takes a book and he's like, bow, bow. Every bookworm around the world was like, hecky, yeah. You know, so empty space, you know, we often get writer's block or get timid or shy at the empty space, but it's the empty space that creates. When a stand-up comedian gets on stage, the audience's silence and intent focus is an empty space. It is a canvas for them to tell their stories with the hopes of moving the crowd emotionally. The musician uses the exact same empty space to not only create and come up with their ideas, but also to present it to the world. They use the empty space to then fill, and they fill it masterfully. When we look at a painter, they take a canvas and all of its potential and then fulfill the potential of that canvas with images that they feel or see, because different painters paint different ways. What else would be a good example? So give way to the empty space. And this includes your life purpose. You know, it's beautiful and it's okay. And I recommend taking in as much information and giving yourself as many mental tools as you can. Go and grab for any framework that you can learn to work. What I'm suggesting also is give way to empty space. Allow yourself to ruminate for 5 to 15 minutes a day. If you really can do it, give yourself an hour and an unbroken hour of reducing the noise in your life, because life has constant stimulation. We stimulate on top of the stimulation. But what you find a lot of people in the modern world uncomfortable with is quiet, silence, the quote unquote nothing is happening. If you're able to master this silent place, you'll start to align yourself with, if you want to get esoteric, the electromagnetic rhythms of the earth. If you want to get just a little bit more grounded, you start to align yourself with your center. You start to notice whether or not you're at that balanced state in your body. Sometimes we are hyperactive, sometimes we are low energy. Bringing yourself back to a center where the water kind of stills, because all the movement of the day by day is like, I'm excited, I'm low energy, I'm excited, I'm low energy. Even with the idea of like our diets with sugar spikes and things of that nature, right? Stillness, an hour of stillness to kind of balance it out. And I like to use a visual to kind of show it. And then when you sit into this balanced zone, all the noise, all the information, all the chaotic mess starts to align with you. And I'm using my hands to kind of give you an idea of what it feels like, what it looks like when you are sitting in silence. And then when it's in that stillness, all the chaotic pieces start to like expand and shine and dissipate depending on whether it serves you or not. This is you tapping into your higher self. So, and tapping into just the higher awareness of life. And from here, your unique path clears itself again. Because what happens is that as you're playing different roles in your life, you're telling all these different stories, and they're chipping away at you. They're creating fractional versions of yourself, and you have to show up as these multiple people. And again, the push and pull of it really starts to make you look at yourself fractionally. When you sit in silence, when you sit in stillness, you essentially are bringing all those fragments together and putting them back together into this whole oneness of yourself. And from there, your perspective clears up. Your energy aligns with itself in totality again. And this allows you to identify your new opportunities. This allows you to get back into your natural rhythms. Just like how falling asleep resets your body as well. So, your destiny, you gotta also learn how to bring it back inside so that you can realign yourself. Because remember, you're constantly balancing the interests of your landlord, your family, your boss, your desires, your God, even though, God can't fail you in that way. God is actually the one orchestrating all of this, but, taking time for stillness is allowing you to take time for appreciation. So hopefully this has been a great training. There's more to this concept. I'm just introducing it. I'm going to get more specific. I'm going to hit more points on this in the future, but I just wanted to share that as a training for today. So I hope you guys have enormous value from this. You could find us on Instagram, Brian Castro 3K. That's my personal page. Mastermind with Us, that's me and Pam's shared page. And you can also find my trader page, Kale Dad Trader, if you're interested in trading. So thank you so much for your attention. Thank you so much for the likes and the comments. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey of what we're building over here. So best of luck to you. I hope the upcoming weeks you find all sorts of alignments and you continue to walk in that true voice of yours. Remember to sit in silence to be able to listen to to that voice. See you guys.